You are now tuned in to the Free Play Media Podcast Network.
We are live. Chris Denman and live we are. What's up, Trav?
I'm Marlon Wayans.
Oh, hey.
Oops.
Yeah, gonna throw that out there, huh?
I'm Jada Foster.
Hey, we got Roy Wood Jr. in. Roy, nice to see you, man. It's great to see you.
I'm good, man.
Serene is how you describe your St. Louis morning.
Yeah, I've been in a very chill ass mood, man.
Yeah?
I'm here in the city. I'm ready to eat some of this barbecue that y'all won't shut
Is
up about.
Is that what people bark at you? They're like, oh, come to St. Louis, there's a barbecue.
Well, I'm from Alabama, so that's really all we have to offer in the South. Meat and Jesus.
Yeah.
Like if you ask somebody what's a good church and what's a good barbecue spot, like that's a 1 hour conversation.
They have to go through their grandmother's favorite and their cousins
Like one person will tell you their favorite barbecue spot, and three people will be on the perimeter eavesdropping.
Right.
And if that person doesn't mention the spot, then they jump in.
Yeah, like, if I may. Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's telling you about that, but their sauce ain't as good. You want good sauce, you got to go over to Jim Jams. Tell you Jim Jams got better. So then the other guy goes, well, Jim Jams side orders suck. Well, that's true. They got horrible side orders. But we're just talking about just pure barbecue. Where are you from? I'm from Kansas City. I'll beat your ass.
How defensive are people in the South about their barbecue?
Very. They're all about this, whatever the hell this white sauce is now in Alabama. That's always the big thing. It's barbecue white sauce. I'm just like, it's meat, man.
Yeah, I think we'll all be okay.
And I feel the same way about church. I'm just like, is there a picture of Jesus inside? All right, I'll go.
Well, is the white sauce like a clam? Like what is it? Like
it's like a cream base type barbecue. It's not Alfredo cheesy or whatever. I don't even know. We can pull up the ingredients. I think there's some vinegar in there or whatever.
Did you taste it? Have you had it?
It's not bad, but it's just people get, you got to try it. I'm like, hey man, it's just sauce on top of meat, bro. It could be ketchup and I would probably still eat it.
Wise words from Roy Wood Jr. You guys need to go see Roy at the Funny Bone all weekend long. You can check him out. It's in Westport. If you guys aren't familiar, get out, see Roy, do some stand-up all weekend long. So you're in town. Where you're based in New York, Daily Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a friend move to New York to be your colleague.
Who's that?
Michael Costa.
Oh, Costa.
Yeah.
I didn't know Costa was here.
He pops through. He makes friends when he comes places. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Costa's cool as hell, man.
Yeah. Do you guys baptize new members by fire in a way? I mean, how's that work?
There's not really a hazing culture there.
No. That's upsetting.
Disappointed me.
You didn't. What? Michelle Wolf came by and Travis made it really uncomfortable.
All those damn snowflakes at the Daily Show. That's probably why.
This is a bullying culture, and we don't bully.
No, you hear this, and you're part of the Daily Show. That's now it's a pillar in not just comedy. It also news. It gets picked up, and you guys are able to attack things in a really unique way that brings information and entertainment at the same time.
The thing that's interesting now about the show that I think a lot of people take for granted is that the Daily Show is still cooking in a time where there's far more competition in the political
absolutely.
sphere.
Very good point.
You know, Jon Stewart, when he first started hitting his stride, he was alone. Maybe I'll give you Bill Maher. I think he was cooking around. He was definitely cooking the same time as Jon Stewart. But when you look at the plethora of shows from a lot of people that got their start on The Daily Show, to be able to still find unique perspectives on this stuff where everybody's talking about it, it's a little bit more tough. And I have to tip my hat to the writers of the show because, you know the black dude standing behind Trump acting crazy in Phoenix, you know everybody's going to have something on them.
Right.
So what is your take going to be that's going to be so original and so different that it still merits mentioning, even though everybody is talking about it? And that started to affect my comedy now, where now I like really start getting paranoid that
Right.
someone else is gonna
Right.
I'll have like just a full-blown race joke in the back of my head. Somebody else wrote this. Come on, we gotta dig deeper. We gotta be original.
But that I would imagine does that add to then the pressure, because everyone knows certainly how successful the Daily Show was during a Republican administration, say with George W. It took off essentially during that tenure, and so you're back in a situation where you do have a Republican Republican administration. Obviously, Donald Trump being who he is, does that add a little bit more pressure? He said it, I didn't. But does that add a little bit more pressure knowing that people are expecting the Daily Show to knock it out of the park when this administration, this Trump, does something?
Yeah, I think like people try to act like, oh, this is good for comedy and comedy's popping now. And I feel like the comedy factories that we've always respected have always been those comedy factories.
Very true.
And they've always been making Saturday Night Live creatively is as good now as it was under Obama.
Of course.
Right.
But now, because you're angry and because you have a vested interest in what's happening, you need a laugh.
It's the emotional attachment to all of it.
Exactly.
Right.
You're more attached to the end product. So now it seems like this comedy's coming out of nowhere. It seems like political.
Oh my God.
This Samantha Bee, what is she doing? She's great.
Right.
But then you couple that with the fact that you actually need a laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's more of a need. It's water in the desert versus, water in your house. It's just you're thirstier now.
How do you...
The water tastes better. It's the same 20-ounce Dasani.
With the red straw.
Yeah.
But how do you... My question is then, I guess us not being in the writer's room every day, we can decompress. Like, we can, at least we try to. We can sort of kind of put the phone down and sort of kind of turn the TV up. But that's part of your job now, is to be immersed in what's going on every day. And it's very... I would imagine draining, considering that this particular president gives you something almost on the hour every hour.
I have to literally just unplug on the weekends.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because I've also learned more often than not with this administration that whatever is news on Friday will be an afterthought on Monday.
Yes.
Right.
So the concept of keeping up with the weekend news cycle for the sake of having a joke to pitch on Monday, nah, let's just see what cracks Sunday after 4 p.m.
Right.
It doesn't matter the level either. It could be huge. You're like, well, this is a first time in American history this has happened. He will up it by the weekend.
Yeah,
Being
and
over.
like we have our show, and this is where it's already stressful in terms of trying to because I really do believe that on some absorbing negativity type stuff, I don't want to get all psycho brain whatever.
No, bring it, please. We love it
but
here.
constantly feeding your brain with that has to do something to you. I don't know when, but eventually it will probably show its effects on us as writers and performers across all shows, because you have to absorb that stuff every single day. And then on top of that, imagine going the whole day. Our day starts at 9:00 with a hour-long writers meeting where everybody is 20 people in the room, producers, correspondents. We all shoot the shit about whatever happened the day before.
Right.
And let's talk about, and you flesh out a show. Everybody gets assigned a script, a couple jokes to write. You write your jokes. You do rewrites. Around 2:00, you go to rehearsal. You tighten up what you did at rehearsal to get ready for a 6:00 taping. And then at 4:30, Scaramucci gets fired.
What?
Right.
So now you have to go back and start over again with a blank sheet of paper.
Wow.
And write these jokes, because this will be all everyone's talking about by 11 p.m.
Wow.
So screw everything you just
Isn't
did.
that thrilling?
It's thrilling, but it's literally flying with no parachute. It's literally jumping out the plane and getting the parachute on the way down. Like, it's that type of...
That's stress.
Cost you your creative life, too. You're the Daily Show. You don't get to screw around and hope it goes well.
You have a new topic to write about, but now you only have 2 hours because
Instead
the
of the whole
audience
day.
just loaded in. And you can't let
Right.
the audience sit there all night because now they're drained, and now you don't have an audience that's alive and laughing at all the stuff you just wrote. So... to me, the stress is twofold. It's in creating the material, but then also keeping up with the brevity of the news cycle and making sure that the material that you do is fresh and relevant and still has an opinion and still points and shines lights on things that people normally wouldn't have paid attention
Yeah.
to.
How do you recover from something like that? Like, what do you do to like decompress so that you can come back and be as creative as you would like to be or as you are used to being?
For me, my stand-up helps. I get out in New York and probably do sets 2 nights a week. I don't really talk about a lot of politics
Right.
on stage. Like, I touch on it, I dabble in it. I'll talk a little bit about issues or race or something like that. But I'm not going to sit on stage for an hour and talk about Mnuchin and why this dude and did you see Paul Ryan? It's like, nah, man.
Do you find yourself being debated or challenged at your stand-up shows based on being a member of the Daily Show? Or would it be more of a? It would be on you, wouldn't it? If you would bring it up, then it's going to maybe come out. But if you're not bringing it into the picture, I was in
Phoenix a week ago, and I did a joke about how can I put it so it makes sense so nobody gets pissed at me. I did a joke about people who clap too hard for the police. Okay, it's basically the joke. And I saw a dude kind of squirm in his seat a little bit. And I've watched enough brain games on National Geographic to learn how to read negative body language. And I could tell this dude, and this is just off the premise. I haven't even got to the joke yet.
Right.
And this dude is already like, what the fuck is this going to be? And you're already no longer in a position intellectually to receive the joke.
Right.
Correct.
You're walled up. The wall is there.
And so I have to perform over your premonitions because you're charged up and you're ready to argue. And you see the videos of people throwing glasses at comedy. John Caparillo had a glass thrown at him on stage by a Trump supporter.
Really?
Yeah, YouTube that shit.
That's terrible.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So, and I'm not here to go to war with people. For me, my comedy, the goal has always been to make you look at something from an angle you would have never considered.
Right.
And no matter what side of the line you sit on an issue, here is a different angle. Because the whole point of the cop joke, it wasn't that I wasn't I was at a baseball game, and the announcer says, "Give it up for the police." Everybody clapped.
Right.
But the dude behind me just clapped too hard. And I don't know, and I can't say that's racist. I'm not saying it was racist or Blue Lives Matter, but you can feel the heat coming off his hands. And I didn't know whether or not that was like him looking at me to see if I clap. You better clap for the police. Like I'm
watching you.
Like I'm gonna take a Kaepernick knee in the middle.
Just pull a jersey out of you, like see.
I have 2 badges in my family, and so for me, clapping for the police is a no-brainer. But I just felt like we heard 2 different things, and that's all I was trying to get the dude to understand is that as a black person, I hear an announcer go, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the law enforcement community and keep you safe. Like, that's what I hear. I just hear it. And I just felt like that dude heard the announcer say, niggas, fuck them. Am I right? We can all agree on that, right? Lock them up. And he was just clapping.
Do you think? And you.
And by the time I got to that punchline,
Man, I wish I could say that.
the guy was on board, but just the premonition of it, the just instantaneous.
Right.
He seizes up. And so as a comic, now you have to perform and navigate that, which I enjoy. That, to me, that is exciting, is taking someone who thinks they're going to disagree with me and yo-yoing them back. That was the one thing I always enjoyed about George Carlin, is that he could make you laugh at something you did not agree with. If I can make you laugh and you know deep down you don't agree with this.
Right.
Like that opening line, Carlin had an opening line, bro. I can't remember which special. It might have been live in New York. Did you ever notice the type of women that are at abortion rallies are the type of women you wouldn't want to fuck anyway? It was basically an abortion.
Right.
But you don't know, is that pro-abortion or anti-abortion?
Or anti-women?
Yeah.
Or I'm offended. I've been to those. I'm offended. And I know I'm hot.
Hang on. Jada, pipe down.
No. There we go. There it is. Trump's America.
That type of stuff I enjoy. And so for me, that's more fun than getting on stage and just recreating what we do on television 4 nights a week.
How does a seasoned vet that's been doing stand-up for as long as you do make the decision to join something like The Daily Show? Like you shown, it was just a no-brainer for you.
No-brainer. I was like, yes.
So take us through a little bit through the process. What again? Like you've been doing stand-up for a while. Like
20 years.
I wouldn't say you. And again, I guess a lot of comedians will give different answers, but you may not have necessarily needed The Daily Show. But what motivated? What was the sell point? What was that? Okay, I'm at this point in my career. This makes perfect sense. Yes, let's jump on it.
Well, first of all, I'd auditioned for The Daily Show previously in 2007 and shit a brick in the audition.
Really?
What did that look like?
Do you recall
Like the
what
actual
that was?
brick?
Like you started wearing diapers after?
I literally just went in and just didn't, knowing what I know now, I wasn't actively listening to the host when he's talking. Like, you know how a journalist just does the simple nod as if they're taking in what the person in studio is saying to them?
Right.
I just wasn't doing that. Like, I was just staring. And shit looks
wow.
weird. On camera, it
killer.
looks weird.
So it was a video audition.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when I went back and watched other people after that, I was like, oh, I didn't do that.
That's gotta be the worst feeling.
And that just, new to LA, hadn't taken my acting classes like I should have. And so there was a lot of performance flaws on what I did. Second time around, I was a year off a canceled sitcom on TBS. And
Which sitcom?
It's Sullivan and Son.
I thought that's what I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
Owen Benjamin and
Correct, Steve Byrne.
Steve Byrne.
So we had just gotten canceled. So for that next year, I was doing a lot of stuff on ESPN. I was just the dude cracking jokes on their various midday argument show, whatever. And I think one of the Daily Show producers caught me on one of those shows and put a call in, and I got an opportunity to audition.
Wow.
That's great.
So, but the audition for the Daily Show, you go in and you perform one piece that they wrote, and then you also write a piece. You write an original piece.
Okay.
And you go in and you perform it with Trevor. And it's like a straight up audition and
Oh,
chemistry
wow.
test all in the same burrito.
That's
Oh,
the real
wow.
deal,
So
man.
it's like in high school, it's like original oratory. You go in, you're given a topic, you have to
Exactly.
write it, and you perform it immediately. Did you have any experience with that whenever you did this, or
No,
did you know what to expect?
They gave us a little bit of time. They gave us about a week to prepare everything, and that was very important for me.
Right.
So it gave me some time to rehearse it, and thankfully my original bit was something that I had already been kind of doing in my stand-up. So it was material that I already felt good about and that I was very comfortable with, and it was just a matter of going in and just performing. So you do the audition, and then, a day or two later, you get a yay or nay. For me, it was a no-brainer because Trevor was coming in as the new host.
Right.
I came on the same night, the first night of the show, the first night of Trevor.
Right.
I was on that episode. So for me, it was, all right, this is a show. It's going in a new direction. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on it. We're going into an election year, so the stuff that we do is going to matter. The contract's only for a year, so even if it's horrible, at least people know me. Like,
True.
no one's
True.
like, for all the people that have gone on from the Daily Show and done, look at this guy, he's doing the success, and he's a success. There's a lot of people that were correspondents on the Daily Show who you just did not hear from again. Right. And it's not to say that their careers are shit.
Shot at Mo Rocca.
No, not at all. What I'm saying is that those people still were able to do. You can't do the Daily Show and then not have shit else happen to you in your career.
Right.
At minimum, just being a part of this should get me 2 to 3 more years of at-bats in Los Angeles to pitch a show, to pitch this, to pitch that. Because of Jon Stewart's reputation, Trevor's wasn't going to be established in the year.
Right.
You're still figuring everything out. So I can at least go in. If worst case scenario, I hate it and it's miserable, then at the end of a year, I just get to walk into some exit. Yeah, I was on the Daily Show. Would you like to buy my sitcom? So for me, that's why I decided to do it. I was like, and then I have a degree in journalism, so I get to do journalism
great.
and talk shit. All right.
So you have the perfect job. Like, this is your dream job.
It's literally the only job I
I'm
can
so
have
happy
for the
for
two
you.
things that I'm interested in.
That's fantastic.
Comedy and journalism.
I love it. You guys go see Roy at the Funny Bone all weekend long. And today's show brought to you by Barrel Beard and Tattoo Oil. We're going to hook Roy up with a box of this, handmade by Jeremy Stanton here in the St. Louis area. Hit it on your elbows, man. It's really good stuff. I'm not even kidding. It's so good. It is really good stuff.
Tattoo oil.
It is beard. Yeah,
Really?
beard
Y'all have
tattoo.
the oil tattoos?
Hey, don't worry about
It's
it, man.
local.
That's
It
for
is
me.
local.
I don't have
Literally, the guy
tattoos.
makes it 5 minutes from here.
Oh
so
my gosh.
you got to check it out, man. It's
this is nice.
It's big in every community, Travis.
Look at this
I know.
packaging.
I'm
This
very
is
well
nice.
aware.
It's got
It's
the
very
little
cool. Mm-hmm.
Look at this.
tissue
This
paper.
is a pitch man in the making.
look
Roy,
at that.
thank you so much, man. You got to get out of here.
Does he make whiskey too? 'Cause this is-
Probably.
You need
Is that
to.
actually Jack Daniels?
And cream sauce and
Yeah.
barbecue.
Use
like, if
this-
you didn't tell me this was beard oil, I would drink it.
Go see Roy at the Funny Bone and watch him on The Daily Show. Thanks a bunch, man.
Thank you all for
Thank
having
you,
me.
sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it so much.
nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
Hey, we're back. Great time with Roy Wood Jr. Travis, you enjoy it. We got him some new product from our new sponsor, Barrel Beard and Tattoo Beard Oil. Roy Wood Jr. You kept composed for a black comedian coming in.
I was slipping him my resume to give to Trevor Noah in hopes that
As it was.
he'll let me mop the floors at the Daily Show.
I wish they'd take your ass. we got a full house. We got Carlie, myself, Jada, Travis, and then Travis's second favorite black comic, Nathan Orton.
Yes.
Thank you. Joining.
Yes.
What's up, Nathan?
Hi.
Good to see you, man. Former Target Practice Live, not former, once a champion, always a champion
Very true.
Thank
of
you.
Target Practice Live, the second night ever. And to date, the best one we've done, I'd say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
No, definitely.
I'd
That was the
agree.
one.
Yeah. You didn't like the last one.
All right.
You're a
I
little
was,
pissy.
I was scared going in because the tweet thing. I was like, I'm not going to be good at this.
Yeah.
So you like Twitter in general?
And everyone was bad at it, but they just kind of.
Worked through.
I'm not even gonna. Every tweet was awful. Every tweet was fucking horrible.
You didn't like it.
And I'm just like,
Get 'em riled up.
mine was the worst, I
Get
guess.
him riled up.
And then my fucking, I think, and no excuses, but I don't care. It's all fun. But
No excuses, but
I
here's an
think-
excuse.
I think my mic wasn't working, and then I did like a voice, and everyone just stared at me, and I got really uncomfortable. And then they immediately were like, "Bobby won." I was like, "Okay."
The young lady doing sound that night was so awesome and so nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm on stage, so she kept saying something about having the volumes right, and I'm like, oh no, it's fine, it's fine. After the first round, Tim Convey comes back, veteran of how many stage shows in his band, comedy. He goes, hey, you got to get that. We can't hear. Like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, it's fine. And then Tim talks me into it. I'm like, okay, I'll go tell her. So I go tell her, I'm like, hey, fix the volume on this, will you? She got offended and goes, who told you this? Like, she knew I was an uneducated sound
She
person.
came up to me and asked if I could hear it. I'm like, I don't know. I can hear him fine because I'm right next to him. But
Then I realized I wasn't hearing a ton of the
Yeah.
stuff that was going on. So Tim was right,
Yeah.
and it was really funny to see a struggle between a former musician / comic and a sound person.
Wow, the real loser that night was the sound girl. I bet her tweet was terrible.
Yeah, she sent a bunch of fire stuff out. So Nathan is a comic here in St. Louis. We've worked with him a bunch, man. We had a blast a week ago.
Yeah, that was
We had
fun.
Joey B- Yeah, here's something that cracks me up about you. So do yourselves a favor, Google Nathan Orton MMA, and then you see the first video that comes up, and you see. I'll just let you Google it. Yeah, so check it out.
Okay.
So Nathan has a habit of telling me how nervous or whatever he was, and I like picturing you head kick knocking out somebody as you tell me you're nervous.
He talks about it all of the time.
No, I've
Me?
brought it
Yeah.
up twice.
No,
Okay.
all of the time.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
really
Flattered.
does.
Yeah.
Like, favored it
I'm
like
just like,
it's
He
on
journals
YouTube.
about it.
keeps your picture.
I think he wrote a poem about it.
yeah, it's actually the background on my phone now that I look. But no, I think it's funny that you could have that confidence, and then you're a growing comic. You just won St. Louis's funniest at Helium.
Thank you.
you're welcome personally thanking me.
Yeah.
Are you noticing a trend at all the competitions you do?
Yes.
I just follow Nathan on. I've got he's gonna take this one. Nathan has his own Illuminati, and its name is Chris Denman.
Yes.
If Nathan wasn't an athlete, would you have voted for him as many times as you have before?
Oh, Duke Taylor would have taken it home. Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Joey B's was fun. And Duke, I'm sure he killed it. I had to leave.
He did really well. Yeah.
I wanted to apologize because I left without saying goodbye.
I knew
was in
you
a
were
hurry.
busy as shit, so I figured like, oh, he's gonna Hollywood me, so it's no big fucking deal.
No. Come on. I did an Irish goodbye to the least Irish person.
Wait, what? Got him some water. What the hell is that all about?
I know. I was
like,
thank you.
Didn't even tip.
Thank you for that.
Travis has been off all week. I'm glad you've rectified this
Well, Chris
situation.
makes a good point. I find that interesting that you do get nervous on stage, or you say you get nervous before going on stage. When every time we've seen you, you're always prepared. You're always very confident on stage. Like, where does that nervousness come from?
I just think I think I harness the energy from. That sounds so stupid.
No, I love it.
You get nervous.
The more hippity-dippty, the better.
Yeah.
Bring that.
Like what I do is I get really nervous and then I massage my nipples while breathing deeply, and it just alleviates all the pain inside of me.
So you did yoga this morning when you woke up
I
before you
actually
jumped
did
in the car.
25
Really?
minutes. Well, I just meditate.
What
I
goes
believe
on?
in all that shit. I think it's
That's
just
all
because
right.
I don't know.
You're among friends.
Yeah, okay, we're all right on.
He looked nervous up until you said that, Jada.
Thank you. She's very reassuring. Thanks.
You're welcome.
She does. She puts a little Nag Champa on the end of her sentences, doesn't she? Just calm it. That's how it goes. How long you been? What have you been
You
doing?
have incense, don't you?
So much in bulk. In bulk.
As we're sponsored by a float center, Presence Float Center, use promo code WAL for $10 off, and a beard oil company today. So that's it's exciting times here at the Hippy Dippy We Are Live podcast. How long have you been doing stand-up? 5 years now? 4 years?
A little over 4. I guess 4.5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah, I love it. I'm going at
All
it
right,
hard.
thanks for coming in, Nathan. It's been a good day.
I have a question. For Nathan. So whenever you made the decision to do stand-up, was there a little bit, like, did you move a little bit slowly, or did you just dive in and you were like, I'm writing this many hours a week, I'm going to do stand-up this much, like this many times a week, I'm going to go as much as possible?
Yeah.
Did you like make that your focus?
Yeah, it took a few years to get serious to where I was putting in the work that you need to, and I still, you always need to work harder and harder. But yeah, it probably took the past year and a half. I've been treating it like a job.
Okay.
How many nights a week?
Well, there's open mics. There's 3 on a Monday I try to hit, 2 on a Tuesday I try to hit, 2 on a Wednesday, and 1 on a Thursday. Then it dies down, so you have to get like real shows Friday through Sunday.
You stay pretty busy on the show circuit. You're getting ready to head somewhere today, right?
I'm fortunate. Yeah, I'm going down to the Ozarks, the Seven Hills Winery.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Are you headlining it, or who are you going with?
So Dan Frigolette, he did the Make Me Laugh.
Well, you also won that one.
Yeah, I won that, and now I'm on his little tour.
Yeah.
Or little. That sounds fucked up. But I'm on his large tour.
You're trying to be self-deprecating without making fun of him. I get
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Fucking.
What do we know? What do I know Frigolette from?
Well, talking to the mic.
Where do I know Frigolette from?
And then
This is so intimate, sharing his mic with each
yeah.
other.
This has been turning. This is kind of cool. I do.
Maybe I'll have Nathan take a picture from his point of view of where you guys are at. And no,
Yeah.
Dan Frigolette is a comic, Travis.
Did we meet him in L.A.?
No,
Okay.
no. We had him on our show.
I took a few.
In the evenings whenever we were on, and he was coming
Dan
through.
Frigolette, of course.
He's from,
Dan Frigolette.
yeah,
he's
Yes, of
from
course.
New Jersey, and
Yes.
he's. I don't know his actual credits. Has he been?
He was on Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, he was
But
on.
I
that.
don't. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know.
I mean,
how much
he was on it.
I didn't
He's just
see.
regurgitating what he's heard.
Exactly. I've never seen that show.
Yeah.
I just know the dude, Adam Sandler's friend with the big eyes, is like that made him like a serious actor. or
Steve
whatever.
Buscemi.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
Didn't know his name. I'm bad with the names.
How are you going to do at the Ozarks? That's I know your comedy, and so I'm naturally curious. Is how do you expect this to play out this weekend?
I'm gonna offend old white women. Actually, old white women. I was in Dayton, and like these 3 old white ladies came up to me and said, "You're we really appreciate your humor being smart and not dirty. And I did a joke about eating ass. So I was like, they're just perverted old ladies.
No, and I recently saw Nathan at Helium. He had opened for DC Curry.
Yeah,
and obviously
great dudes.
He really was. And what I love about, I think Nathan maybe picks up on this, like with black crowds or predominantly black crowds, they like to, it's like call and response. So when you nail a joke, they like, oh boy, that boy funny, boy. Like he got so many of those that night.
Nathan is quickly, as somebody who goes to a ton of shows, Nathan is someone you stick on a black show.
For
No,
sure.
and I've always said, we even said that with DC Curry and a few other black comedians, like that to work a black room is you have to take it up to a little bit more of a extra gear. So, but Nathan was just so in a zone there where, like I said, he got that call and response, like black women, oh boy, I tell that, that boy, funny boy, I tell you.
They exclaim.
I was
love
like,
black
that's
crowds.
my Nathan. He's doing it. He's killing it.
You grew up in North County in St. Louis.
Yeah, so
is it a comfort factor from the get go? Maybe.
Definitely. So like I'm myself around black people. I don't try to, hey, what's that? Like I
Oh
just
my
keep
God.
it myself. And I've seen white people try to change.
Like,
It's
yo,
like,
dog,
don't
what's
do
good?
that.
Like my veins
can read
are
through the
pulsing.
phoniness.
I
So
can't.
leave your do-rag at home, Chris.
Yeah, well, I was going to. Which that's something with he and I. We've seen, and it sets me off. I'm just, who are you? And this is the shittiest character acting I've ever seen. I can't deal with that. So so you're very real about it.
Yeah, I don't mean to like stereotype with positive traits, but black people tend to just not be phony. And like the crowds, if you suck, they will stare at you. If you're great, they will applaud. Like there's none of this like laughing to be nice. There's no charity laughter.
Right.
That's what I like about it. In the beginning,
It's very true.
I had a girl go next. Like, oh yeah.
Oh, no.
How do you overcome that? Like, how do you like
don't.
reach that? So you have a journal too, where you write all about the pain.
Yeah,
There's not
You and
jokes in that
Chris should get
notebook. Yeah. There's
Pain
tears.
notebook.
it's plans.
He has his nighttime notebook and his morning notebook, and the nighttime is pain. And the
think-
morning after yoga is all pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Man, you guys just want to breathe softly into the mic for another half hour?
Inhale.
That's right. Ambiance, the beard oils permeating the room.
There's a good chi in here.
It's the beard oil. It's the smell of the beard oil.
I can't grow a beard. That's offensive.
Yeah, that's kind of we're
Maybe
looking out for you.
chest hair, armpit hair.
I'm very hairless. I think it's because
very
I'm
hairless.
Native American. All right, Carlie. Well,
you want to open the door?
fair enough.
Here it is.
we know
Okay.
each other.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about your face.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Your face and your taint. Okay. We're just
you've got the paddles. You just take the boat wherever you want to take it.
Do you have a journal for that too?
yes.
curious.
My taint? Today it itched. There was a throbbing earlier.
Schmeg.
We do always ask though,
Prostatitis.
all of our comedians when they do come in here, as
Yes.
far as the end game. I don't want to say end game. I guess where you see yourself on the path, where you're going to be. Where is Nathan Orton going to be?
Sounded really formal.
Yeah, you got real serious.
But don't be modest
We
about
want
it.
some-
Like, we really want to hear people like, I'm going here
Don't
and
Speak
watch
for
me do
yourself. I
it.
don't give a damn what he's going to do.
He really cares. Remember,
Yeah,
he
so-
is a journal dedicated
So
to you.
like, there's no reason to do this if you're not going to be. I mean, anything for that matter. If you're not going to be confident, and
Yeah.
I see myself making it, and I have a video I'm going to get up to Canada
Okay.
just for laughs.
Just
and
for laughs.
I plan
Nice.
on being the new faces next year.
Nice.
That's what I plan on. That's what I'll be doing. So
Yeah. So you come from.
don't worry about the lack of modesty.
You come from a family that's had stardom and looking into it.
Yeah.
Your dad, your older brother, household names in houses where Cheeto dust is all over people's fingers. But
Relax.
you have a unique perspective of that. So I could see. I mean, ceilings are a big thing, right? People, I mean, you see people succeed, see people go. Your brother's a giant star, and your dad too. People talk about your dad as well. Professional wrestling, Randy Orton and Cowboy Bob Orton, right?
Yeah.
That's what, and for you to have their path that's already been made, Do you apply any of that? Do you disassociate with that? You don't tell people. I like that because you're actually earning it, and it's not, I don't know. You could probably finagle your way into a couple decent paydays, but then you get found out, and then you're kind of a fraud who's the wrestler's brother who does comedy. Do you apply any of that? Do you stay away from it completely? I guess just the nuances of being part of this family.
I disassociate in a way where I don't try to ride off of it.
Right.
So I think it's kind of a benefit to me in a weird. So people think it's a benefit where doors are going to be opened, but really it's an opposite situation where I know people are going to say he just got there because of that. So it makes me want to work harder to get funnier, to be undeniable, to earn it, to say shut the fuck up. So really, it just drives me to want to earn it. And that sounds hacky and cliche, but that's the truth.
No, that's a super unique experience. That's I mean, that's fucking great. So whenever you were, did you amateur or did you go pro in MMA?
I was amateur.
Amateur?
I have hip dysplasia.
I thought that was just a bit.
No.
No,
my hip. I had surgery. So like that kick that I did in that dude's face and knocked him out on YouTube that you watched twice.
7 times this morning.
Before bed every day.
17.
It hurt me more than him.
Really?
Yeah. If you think about it.
Wow.
So, yeah, because so my hips are messed up. But
I mean, that's another. I'm saying comedy, entertainment, things like that. Also, MMA. You may have seen some people looking at you weird because of whose brother you were.
I don't think anyone knew at that point.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even something that was coming up.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, how about your family? They seem very supportive on Twitter.
They are.
I love it.
My fucking mom.
Anytime I
sharing Trump's posts. America. Fucking redneck. Jesus Christ. I love my mom. She's so goofy.
Are you close with your family?
Very. They're great.
Yeah.
Like, me and my brother are real close. Sister, brother, mom. Yeah, we're all close. Me and my dad, our new thing, we watch Game of Thrones all the time together.
Very nice.
What was their initial reaction like when you was like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm putting all my energy towards? What was the entire family initial reaction when it's like, Nathan wants to do stand-up?
Yeah.
What was their response?
I like picturing him going in and your dad being like, you're going to put those trunks and boots on and you're going to get your ass into that squared circle.
No, I sat my dad down and I was like, hey, I want to go into stand-up, and it was like I was telling him I was gay.
Really?
Yeah, he power bombed me.
Nice. Yeah.
No,
top rope.
He's super supportive, and they can see that I work hard. And I think the big thing for my parents is I have a full-time day job, so they can't really.
Okay.
But yeah, so they grin through it. I think they go to the shows and they see me not bombing, and they know that I'm not like.
How huge is that? I mean, maybe Jada, you're an actress. Carlie, you've danced, performed. Travis, our stuff. Whenever we were two idiots that were like, try some radio, in like 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden you're getting not the worst I've ever heard. You know, people giving you feedback on stuff, and then all of a sudden people are like, hey, when's the next event, or when's this? That was funny. When's your next guest? Once people can kind of trust that there's something there, I think that takes a ton of pressure off family, friends, everybody else whenever they see other people enjoying your craft.
I know with my family, when my family, and I think when you say, they grin through it, that's when I think I was like, all right, well, at least I got that. Like, as far as with my family, I guess what we do is considered quote unquote unconventional, but I think once my father, stepfather, my mother, they were all like, okay, all right, so I kind of sort of get this. And so once I got to that point, I was like, all right, that's essentially all I need, as long as you just weren't like, I just don't understand it. Yeah. Like, I didn't get that from the fam, so I was like, all right, that counts for me.
Jada, you've been performing for a long ass time. Was there ever that moment, or were you ever just...
Well, I think like I had valued, I was like, then this sounds stupid, but I was like, I'm not always going to look like this. I need to create value elsewhere. So that's when I just started going to school and accumulating degrees. So I was just studying all of the time. And then last year I was like, okay, I'm doing this full force. And my parents were like, it's about fucking time. Like, thank you. So it was more like they knew it was coming, and they were just glad that I made the decision to go full force instead of like pussyfooting around it, which that's kind of what I was doing with all of this. Like, I don't know.
Carlie, your dad yell at you for your wacky ideas?
Oh yeah, my dad thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Oh, well, there we go. All right.
It explains so much, babe. We'll talk
I'm like,
after
Dad, I literally
this.
have like 5 jobs. He's like, yeah, but where's your health insurance? I'm like,
We can talk about
I don't
that
know.
too.
That happens. So Nathan, with your full time,
Yeah. Health
Yes.
insurance. I have fucking health insurance. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I have
Cut loose, buddy.
fucking health insurance through my job. I went and peed in a cup at a urologist just to check out myself, make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
$250 to find out that I don't have chlamydia.
Right?
So I want to know what that health insurance is covering.
Right.
Nothing.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I think buying the cups in bulk most of the
Costco ain't gonna pay for itself, guys.
Yeah, I was so mad. They send you like you'll go pay your copay and you're like, all right, that was it. Then you'll get a bill and you're like, okay. Then you get another bill. It's like
Right.
the doctor's office, the hospital. It's bullshit.
That's the only. I will say that's the one thing like about the Obama administration that really annoyed the hell out of me, and that like I feel like my parents really didn't talk about healthcare that
You're
much.
gonna qualify the shit out of this, aren't
No,
you?
but no, I'm saying essentially what happened was like my parents didn't give a shit about healthcare, and then Obama started talking about it, and like every 5 said, well, Obama got the care for you if you need it, baby. I'm like, what? You didn't give a shit about like why is it so pertinent now that all parents want their children to have healthcare? It's like fucking Obama again. That's why I'm glad we got a real leader in White House. That's about time. Am I right, everyone?
Travis Farrell, everybody. St. Louis. So you're making your way up, and you've got a great goal with Just for Laughs for next year.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay in St. Louis? What's the next city move? You see that? I feel like you can because you get a lot of stage time. You see people that would be equal to you in LA or New York. Maybe you get on, but probably you're going to drive 40 minutes, wait 4 hours, and maybe get 5 minutes for an open mic for one. So there's advantages being different places. Do you get to that Just for Laughs level, then go to New York, Chicago, LA? Would you have a plan with that, or are you just going to keep rocking here?
It's a good question, Chris.
Thanks, Nathan. He's like, finally, one.
My goal. So my goal when my goal was I got to relocate to New York, I was stressed out all the time and depressed and shit. And then I changed my goal just to more of a quantity of writing, and I changed it all to getting better rather than not where do I go, but how do I get there, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I'm just turning up the work and not worrying about where I'm moving. My next goal is the Just for Laughs thing. And people tell me, I've talked to some people at Helium who say you probably need to move to LA or New York, but I don't have a date or anything for that.
Yeah, and that's smart too. I think that's the way to take it because and again too, maybe opportunities are more plentiful. Jada, you've lived in LA. We've been to LA several times.
I lived in LA and New York.
Yeah, and you see the opportunities, but at the same time, I don't know, man. You just said you probably get work every single night and paid gigs and things like that. So I agree with your point completely, and especially if you're writing all the time, you know that when you do get dropped into that spot, you're going to murder. Right? Because you're prepared. It's all about preparation.
And I'm not shitting on anyone in particular because I haven't seen them, but I've heard stories. People go out to LA, they go to, and everyone sucks. They just go, they're just like,
well, I'm here.
Well, yeah, I'm in LA. I want to be famous, but they're not funny. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, well, then I'll stay here, work hard, and then when I do move out there, maybe I'll already have some sort of credit.
Yeah, and that's something where, maybe that is where you lean on your family. So listen, your brother has an agent or something, and that's something that maybe you will get a meeting because of that. But the fact that you have all of this cred behind you, then that just sets you up even more.
Yeah.
Well, I think St. Louis is a great place from living in both places. This is a great place to build all of those things because everybody has more time. Yeah. There aren't a lot of people doing this, and the harder you work, the levels. I don't know. I'm just watching people succeed in this space, and because of the internet, we have way more access. So you just build it here.
Our guest list for our podcast and radio show, as good as anyone on the coast because of people coming through to comedy shows, and that's the style of show we do. We're not shooting for government officials to be in our show all the time. Right. But you're right. It's an interesting thing because you have a couple, 2, 3. Do we count Hey Guys as a good club? They got good comics that go through there.
Yeah, it's a club.
Yeah.
Top-notch Dollar General.
It's a
room like Josh Blue's there. He's very funny.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, that's the dude with the cerebral palsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's what he is. Yeah.
No, it's funny that he has that.
Nope.
It's hilarious. No.
Now, I remember him from Last Comic Standing,
right.
like
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's still doing it. I mean,
No, I don't know. So 3 clubs that get big names. I'd say Helium and Funny Bone regularly.
Laugh Lounge just opened.
Laugh Lounge just
Yeah.
opened. They're staying busy, man.
Yeah, man.
I see
Jesse
them going.
Taylor.
How I don't know Jesse,
Yeah.
and I haven't been to the Laugh Lounge. How's it going out there?
It's awesome. I've been up there for the open mic. They always got
nice.
good crowds. It's a huge room, so like it's
Right.
naturally it's going to be hard to fill. But from what I hear, they do. I haven't been up there on a weekend show yet.
Yeah, I need to check it out too. They are pumping. It's another great avenue
They had,
for.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had Paul Mooney there a
great
couple
thing.
weeks ago.
Yeah, they've had some.
Yeah, they've had some serious heavyweights coming through here. I did want to ask you, though, because you have had the opportunity to open up for some very good comedians, big national comedians. What advice have they given to you? Or when they come to town, I guess maybe a better question is, when those type of performers come to town, they ask you to open, are you more inclined to try to engage them, to maybe bite their ear to get some advice about the industry? Or what is your approach when you have the opportunity to open up for the DC Curry types and those type of comedians?
You know, I lay back. I ask them how they want to be introduced to make sure I get that right.
Okay.
I say, you need anything? And then I just stay out of their way. I don't ask them shit. Then eventually they approach me like, so how you doing? Because they get bored. And then you
Yeah.
just start a friendly conversation and treat them like a person.
Right.
Okay.
You're stuck with people for a weekend. And it's weird. I have a weird perspective of this because of what we do and some of our friends coming through. And it's funny, not necessarily funny. It's a weird situation to go back. You had a comic that's a big name on your show that day, right? Mm-hmm. So they'll be like, hey, come back, have a drink. Then you see your buddy who's either opening or featuring for that comic, and they're playing the respect game, and you're back there and the comic's yelling at you, have a good time, drink, sit on my couch, do this. But if Nathan walked back there and did that, you'd be a world-class prick, like just out of the blue. Mm-hmm. So I always find that really interesting to see that dynamic, because there's been a few where people are like, and it's just because the comic's being polite, but they're like, oh, you can go in there. I don't need to go in there. I don't need to go back there. So it is weird what we decide and who we decide gets access, whatever else. And it all comes back to respect, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fun to check out.
Do you, is there a comedian that you've encountered or engaged, and you don't have to name names, but that...
Yeah, you do.
Is he covered by insurance? Is he covered by insurance?
But no, has there been a comedian
trying
that
to
you,
get this to go
a prominent
Twitter
comedian
vibe.
or someone that you've had to feature for that has turned you off, or has really go, oh, so you're that guy
You know,
or girl?
man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was even like thinking of this because I figured I haven't encountered any pricks. Somehow.
That's good.
I don't know how. I've heard of other people doing
Right.
it. But like I had Dave Attell, one of the nicest people in the world. And they're like, Rafe was saying this, you know, Rafe.
Uh-huh.
He was like, they say don't meet your heroes, but like, and then we met him and he was so down to earth, so
Wow.
cool. He brought me on stage at the end of the show. To
Oh,
let me-
wow.
He sat in the audience and had me do a joke.
That's great.
Are you serious?
Yes, dude.
Oh, that's insane.
He really put us on the spot, like in a good way.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, man. So I can only think of people I met who were just incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're
I'm too nice.
No,
But
how many people we talked to? I can think of 2 people that weren't awesome, and they weren't even like terrible.
Say their names.
Angela.
You're saying their names.
No, I don't care. Angela, what's her name?
Johnson?
Angela Johnson. She was a little cold. And then Tony Hinchcliffe, not the most fun,
Oh, really?
but not bad though either. So even our 2 that were like, I don't know if they really like this. You chalk it up to they're in a sterile room doing radio on a time zone that they're not used to,
Right.
and they've done this 10 times before they came
Yeah.
in here. Maybe so those. But even then, I wouldn't say they were bad, and I wouldn't say they were rude whatsoever.
They were tired.
That's really good for 2 years of talking to comics once a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe, I didn't know about him when he came through, and then I found out he was super funny, like on the roast.
Yeah, big
He's like
for
one of the
roast riding.
Machine gun
Yeah.
joke guys. Like he's cool. And so it's good to know that he wasn't an
Not
asshole.
at all. And he's a big Rogan guy. He's
Okay.
on Joe Rogan's podcast
Yeah,
all
that
the
makes
time.
sense.
You see those people get huge from that following.
Nathan, is there anyone that you model yourself after? Like, or do you have like a compilation? Like there's people that you're like, I'm going to follow, like, this is someone that I'm going to apply their technique, not as far as like riding goes, but just routine.
I think so. Like my top 4 comics, like in my Mount Rushmore, they call it. So like taking out Carlin and Pryor, just because you're wasting the. It just
Everybody already knows that.
It just steals the spots for others. Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Louis C.K., and Chad Daniels out of Minnesota. You guys probably know Chad Daniels.
I've heard the name.
That's a great fucking list.
Yeah.
That's a great list.
Right on.
Patrice especially. I guess
He's
Patrice is
my
the common
favorite.
denominator for every comedian we've had the opportunity to talk to in the last 2 years. Like it always comes back to Patrice O'Neal. Like every time when we had Donnell Rawlings in here, he's brought up Patrice. Gosh, I feel like
Rich Voss just did a lot.
Yeah, Rich Voss just did a huge thing about Patrice. So yeah, I feel like when it comes down to if you had to make your Mount Rushmore consistently, I keep hearing Patrice, which just shows you how much of a loss he was to comedy.
Oh man, it's sad. Patrice he's like Plato. He's like a philosopher.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he wrote shit down. I think he just hit over and over. He just was always talking to people, thinking shit, to maybe talking to himself. Who knows? On the car, and he just had this brilliant perspective on life and these great little jokes he'd fall into, and he would trick the audience into. He would push the audience in one direction and offend them until he made them respond in a way that proved that his point was right. And then everyone like is laughing with tears.
Right.
Like, this guy's a fucking genius. Then he dies because fucking
Health
sugar.
Habits. Yeah. He had the sugar.
Why the hell you look at me, Chris? That's fucked up.
It's
I wish it'd
horrible
come quicker,
shit, man.
No, it's
Diabetes,
terrible,
man.
Yeah, it's a weird makeup of what makes us go after it. It's like you crave the thing that's going to put you in the grave, man.
Obesity is an epidemic in this country, and we shouldn't sugarcoat it. That's the fucking problem. Right?
Cut his mic, Sam.
Okay, I have one more question. What is the one thing?
God damn it.
Why is Travis laughing so hard?
I know. He's like, I lost 3 uncles last year.
I'm about to lose my foot at the end of the week.
Oh my God.
Do you have hyperglycemia?
I don't think so, but now that
I
you
just
look at me that way, it's like
you said
you
that.
saw a symptom in me.
No.
You're like, do you have something,
Your reaction.
Travis? No,
I tell him he's got diabetes and high
Type
blood
two.
pressure all the
If
time.
I looked at you, I would not think you were diabetic.
Oh, see? Nah, take that, Chris.
Don't you
Yes.
fucking look at me.
Are you?
He said, nah.
No, Jeff's saying he looks diabetic. Dude, Jeff,
Are you diabetic?
Leave making fun of myself.
Don't ever
Have you
touch
heard of
yourself like that
intermittent
again in my
fasting?
workplace.
Jeff just touches breast.
Guys,
In my workplace.
if
Do
you guys
not.
want me to piss off everyone who listens to this, I can go into some details about some interesting shit.
Intermittent
Jeff,
fasting, you said?
Yes.
That just sounds like a time between meals.
Precisely.
Okay.
But you make
It's a long time.
that's funny and true. But the idea is the fasting part. You want to drag that out to like 16 to 20 hours. Basically, you're eating 1 to 2 meals a day, but you get all the same calories, but you give your body this time to. All right, see how.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I love it.
That's what I've been doing my whole life.
Listen, give me 30 seconds. So every time you eat,
This motherfucker.
Every time you eat, your blood sugar is going to go up. When your blood sugar is up, your body uses that as energy. Whatever it doesn't use is stored in your liver and your muscles as glycogen. That's then used. The third thing that's used is stored fat. But if we're always eating, you're always going to have the blood sugar and the glycogen levels that aren't depleted, so your body uses that. So your fat never burns, which is why you just keep accumulating it. And everyone in America, it's what they put in the food.
So like you would rotate it. You do like breakfast one day, lunch the next day, dinner the next. So like in rough timing wise, right? You would do like one giant breakfast, then you wouldn't eat for 16 hours. So you'd have to. Okay, so you do like lunch, not eat for 16 hours, and it's breakfast. Then you not eat for 16 hours, and it's dinner.
Oh, Jeff.
Let me simplify.
You eat whatever you want, but like
it's not
you're trying.
it's not a constant rotation where it's so basically like an example would be you eat from 4 p.m. to like 10 p.m.
and you stop.
and then you don't eat until 4 p.m. the next day. That's the simplified way to put it.
That's like what I've done my whole life, and I never realized that it was like a thing.
Yeah, it's a good
that
for it.
people do.
That-
And that's why I'm like thin.
Are we just talking about fasting?
Yes. Do you fast
Yeah.
with your incense?
Today I'm fasting. I don't fast. I go on hiatus for my incense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just run from the cops.
I take breaks.
So that's
Whenever UPS is late for delivery,
you ever-
I am without incense for a couple weeks.
Have you ever not been in shape?
Have I ever not? Yeah, when I was a kid, I was all chubby. I was a horrible athlete.
Really?
Yes.
Is your brother athletic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the motherfucker. Why did I answer that earnestly? Like, oh, he's asking? Oh, that's a good. Yeah, I'll answer that genuinely. You fucking dick. Jesus, who can lift more? Fuck you.
He's 2 seconds from calling me a fat fuck. He's
No.
like, listen, Sam Tarley.
No,
Oh man, no, you're not athletic.
that's so funny. I'd say like I'm fit but not athletic. Like I can't throw a ball, but I can do a lot of push-ups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Sounds like Chris.
What's that? No, I'm the opposite. I can throw the hell out of a ball, but
Yeah.
never had a real high bench press.
I'm like,
Trav.
yeah.
So no athleticism.
Yeah.
No, let's
Thank
get into
you.
your mindset. Yes, I wanted to highlight that. No,
Yeah.
you seem to be mathematical or at least methodical in your approach to how you're going about everything. You have goals lined up. You're very particular about your body,
Trying to compliment
taking care
me
of
now,
things.
okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back in. Don't analyze me while I'm analyzing you. So, anything else that we don't know about you that you're into and very knowledgeable about?
I love the guitar.
You're full of shit.
What do you mean? Why would you say that?
I've never seen you play a guitar.
I'm decent at the electric. I'm a big fan of the blues, like Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Albert King, Freddie King.
All right, he wasn't joking. All right.
Yeah,
I'm always on guard. I'm like, where's this going?
Yeah. Like I can't play the pretty acoustic shit that like girls like, but I can like listen to like yeah. I can listen to like some like old blue like and
No
play
shit.
over it. Yeah, like the pentatonic scale. I love
nice.
it. It's amazing.
It's a good city to be in. You're in St. Louis. You can go see all that. Do you go to live shows?
No.
You're working all the time.
I'm always doing
Yeah.
I'm just a narcissist comic.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm always curious about that too. I feel weird inviting our friends that are comics out because I'm like, all of you guys are always working so much and doing that. Like
I'd be
it's-
down.
You
Thanks,
never
man.
invite me out.
I feel weird inviting everyone. I'm like, whoa! I
Thanks,
didn't
Chris.
realize you did that.
but you literally work all the time, and if it's
Yeah.
like if there's a free evening, I don't know if I should text you or not, Nathan. I mean, it's one of those things, you know.
It seems like you shouldn't.
Yeah. There you go.
You've
There you
literally
have
never
it.
texted me. Hang on.
Oh, you want
I'm
to
literally
hit
always
fucking
free.
liar.
Travis?
Don't believe him.
I don't text you either, really anymore.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Dog shit.
That's, yeah.
We text. Jeff and Chris, we keep up. You
Yeah.
all are left
Good for
out.
you guys. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Too bad.
We don't hang out, but we
Dude.
just send selfies to each other.
First of all, awesome to have you in. Can't say. What are you checking out?
Just seeing what he's doing.
Oh, Sam. He's probably liking his girlfriend's Facebook picture.
Right on.
Jeff sent me pictures of him doing yoga the other day.
He's in his own world.
Naked?
Joke. No.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I have to defend myself. No, it was a funny joke
fuck.
because we had talked on the pod about how I did naked yoga. So I sent Carlie a picture of my screen, like of YouTube on my TV. Then I sent her a picture of like my thigh, like my knee to mid thigh, and then it was a selfie with a middle finger. So it was a nice progression
you two are so
of
sweet to
not
each other.
Inner thigh
naked
pics.
yoga.
I'm gonna
I threw up.
text. I'm gonna text. We're talking about texting, so I just thought of something. I'm gonna text Chris. I'm gonna text you something
Why are you staring like
because I had to get my phone out of my pocket. And
It's
I
like a
have-
slow
You
mo
just never
thrust.
adjusted
I
it.
don't buy Jenny's skinny jeans, but by the time you wash them a few times, they turn into them, and then people think you're a hipster.
Right.
But no, I
I
wash
just,
my
keep,
thought
I,
you
just, I just keep
were.
gaining weight.
I'm hygienic.
Why are you wearing those skinny jeans? Like, they weren't last week.
All right,
I'm fat.
I gotta text you something, Chris. That's,
Oh God, what is this?
all right, because this is. By the way, do you enjoy my homoerotic text? It's funny
Yes.
because Chris will be like, "Hey man, you still on for 11?" I'll be like, "Thanks, baby," and put like that eggplant that's really
Yes.
a dick.
Yeah. No, I like that. We'll
The
get there
grimace's
where,
penis.
where I send this with the snake emoji back.
I look forward to because Chris is always texting because he's always doing business, and I'm looking forward to you sending that to like a very important sponsor. Really looking
Sending
forward to
that, like,
The snake text.
yeah, the snake.
Yeah.
text.
It's all coiled up. It doesn't look like a dick.
Yeah, come on. There's more
It's just like, oh, he likes
insinuation
snakes?
behind it.
Also, you're a grown ass man. Start sending the dragon.
Oh.
That makes way more
the
sense.
Nice.
The eggplant is is a penis, though. That's
It is a
exactly
penis.
I
what
thought
it
that
is.
was a penis. That's what they look like, right?
There's now 9
Yes.
people on this podcast, and I feel bad about this, but I have to jump in about this right now. The unicorn is the right dick emoji because it's pointing and it's like, but it's exciting, right? Like, who wouldn't want to get a unicorn?
A unicorn is way more magical than a penis. I do not
Yes,
agree.
I know. That's why you upsell, and then they're already there, and it's like, I'm here.
Jeff, we're gonna have to help you.
What the fuck is this podcast now?
I don't know. So Nathan,
A unicorn is a gay man's penis.
thank you so much for the text you just sent me.
And that was not offense. That was a compliment.
It was
really.
a compliment.
Yeah. Congrats.
To the gays.
Yeah.
To the gay-
Oh, I love gay people. I make little gay jokes because I believe in real equality. If you're going to shield a group of people from jokes, that's the real offensive thing.
I
point.
completely agree.
PC is not the way to be.
Hey, there it is.
True bigotry. Victimizing groups of people is I think that's asinine and it's offensive.
I completely agree.
That's why you should make fun of them.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, we've watched you navigate crowds where you do take it one place or the other, and you see the groans start happening or whatever. But it's always done, and that's what you tell. Whenever you see a shitty comic get up and like try and drop the N-word or
Thanks.
something, it's really strange because somebody like yourself, you do a good job of navigating it and doing
Oh,
it
yeah.
correctly.
When I say the N-word, it's
Right,
spot on.
Right.
Man.
Did I miss that shit earlier in the day? I must have missed that.
He's
one.
getting his Ozark material ready.
I got to win them over. So everybody, listen. Now,
I came from St. Louis.
I just came from St. Louis. It's nice to be down here where it's pure.
And then what I feel like is the new slur, like, next to Ferguson.
Yeah.
Like, when did that nice town become a slur?
I
People are rude.
Oh man, yeah, I don't even want to open that one up.
I'm like, dude, I'm just north of I grew up right by
I
Ferguson.
as well.
It's
Downtown
like there's-
Ferguson's
it's
a
not-
lovely place.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
It's very old. It's got that what's that St. Ferdinand
Yes.
area. It's like an old town.
Just
it's
really
pretty.
old.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Nathan, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I could go another 2 hours with you. We got to get you out of here. You got to
had
get
a-
to the Ozarks.
I do. Yeah, and I had a lot of fun. I
Good.
didn't realize
Look at
I was
that.
doing this for it was like 40 minutes.
yeah, let's do it again, man.
I loved it, man. I hope I was not too awful.
No, you're okay.
I gotta show you that I'm doing my not confident,
Right.
nervous thing. From,
That's it. It's funny because
It's
I know
cute.
he does this to like girls when he's talking to them. I bet too.
I'm
And
not
like,
that good.
I feel like I'm good. I'm worth Nathan acting like he's not worth being. You know what I mean when I'm saying that? I get to see a peek inside.
Yeah.
Dude, how do we follow you on Twitter?
Twitter. All right. So not because of my comedy, but because of my brother, there are several fake Nathan Ortons.
Oh, God.
So I can't.
so fun.
It's so pathetic. And all the profiles are like Randy Orton's little brother.
Are you
And
serious?
it's a picture of me. It's some
Wait,
7-year-old.
No way. Are you for real?
Oh, dude. Oh my God.
I did not know this.
I'll
This
show
is
you
hilarious.
Oh,
He
there's
actually-
fake profiles of me.
What?
And it's disturbing.
He actually needs a blue check mark.
You need to get verified.
I need. I
do.
tried. I submitted for it and no response. I think I'm gonna have to wait a month and do it
Wow.
again.
Yeah.
Well, wait a fucking minute. I would be heated.
Oh, I'm really because that was part of my
I've tagged
explanation.
I've tagged an imposter of you on Instagram like 4 times.
And I don't even have an Instagram.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
All right. I gotta. Okay.
Oh,
I'm searching
that's
this.
gotta be so.
It's uncomfortable. It's
absolutely.
All right, just start scrolling and just notice how every second or third one's. You can tell it's my picture. It's my name. So my
oh
Twitter.
my God, that is so
It's
awkward.
fucking disturbing. So my Twitter is @Orton_Nathan.
Had to
'cause
get
that
real
was last.
specific.
Yeah. So and I realize at this point it's like, oh, no one can remember that.
I know.
So I'm not gonna ever have a lot of Twitter followers. So I've been sabotaged by my fucking these lemming just bad pictures of me from college with like a shaved head. I look like a white supremacist and my fucking. Do you see that? Look at that fucking jacket I had. That's when I was hood. You see that shit? All
see
this shit's
this.
set in stone, man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, people think I'm an asshole.
Oh, that's great.
Oh god.
That is like that. Low key is like my worst nightmare. Like a shittier version of my already shitty self out there.
Yes.
So I remember I was
Right.
shitty, and now
I'm not even doing this right. You're going to fuck it up
Yeah,
more.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm like, I'm already sucking ass out here. Why the fuck are you ruining my shitty? Oh, what the hell is going on? I feel for you. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I just need a blue check mark. I need to convince them So one way or the other, I don't know. I sent them links to newspapers I was in and the Helium site and the fight.
Yeah?
I went back 10 years to say, here's me 19 years old beating someone up. Please give me a check mark. Like it was a threat. And I even included, I have all these fake profiles. So that's like the number one reason I should get a blue check mark.
Right.
I'm the guy that all these,
We'll help you through this battle.
I need a blue check mark.
Other than the
Bravo.
Ozarks coming up, we're upcoming shows.
Upcoming shows. In St. So, okay, let me pull this up. So next Thursday, that would be yes. At the Improv Shop, I'm doing Thursday, August 31st. I know I'm so bad at plugging myself.
You're good.
Kelsey McClure is putting on a show for Planned Parenthood.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do some abortion jokes, and then the next night I'm on Jovan Bibbs' show at the Laugh Lounge. That's Friday.
Nice.
I actually talked to him. We should have him in here.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Incredibly funny, super nice guy, and just a genuine. He's just got a strong presence. The
Lives
dude,
in New York, right?
alpha male, man.
Right?
Yeah.
He's in New York. He's from St. Louis.
Yes.
We've talked on Facebook a couple times. We've never
He's
met
awesome.
in person.
Awesome
it's a weird
dude,
thing.
Super nice, super funny. Definitely
awesome.
get to
Very good. Anything else down the line? Just for laughs? You going to keep us in line with that?
I'll let you know when I'm on there,
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
and I'll let you know when I'm at Helium. Thank
That's
you.
right. Absolutely. It's We Are Live. Thanks, Nathan.
Thank you.
Hit it, Sam.
It's my birthday Monday.
It's your.
You're now tuned in to the Free Play Media Podcast Network.